So this mission I'm about to tell you about is one of the craziest missions that I've ever been on in Afghanistan. Um, it was the story about Extortion 17, call sign Extortion 17, which was a down Chinook in the Tangi Valley of Afghanistan that I was a part of the recovery efforts to go out there and clean that up. It was about 3 in the morning, and we were on a fob that was nearby where this incident happened. And our lieutenant came in and gave us a quick brief about, hey, this downed helicopter happened close by. We need to hurry up and get ready and go out there. Now, typically, I've never been in a situation like that where we need to hurry up and leave. Usually, the mission was already planned the night before, and we would get the information the night before and then go to sleep and then wake up and go out on mission. But in this case, because it was such an emergency, we pretty much got told we need to leave in about an hour. Get your stuff together right now. At that moment, when the lieutenant told us all that, we immediately went into action. We packed up all of our stuff and we were out the door in less than an hour. There wasn't much of a plan. It was kind of planning as we go. I'm sure the lieutenant and the platoon sergeant were planning as we were packing to get us out there, but we weren't sure what we were going to step into as we left, and it kind of developed as we were on our way over there. It was completely dark. We were using night vision goggles at the time. We didn't have headlights on. We were actually driving with night vision goggles out to this crash site. This crash site happened in a riverbed in a small town in the Tangi Valley. Went up Highway 1 and we ended up taking a right onto this smaller road that hugged the canyon. So a mountain on one side of the road and a drop off on the other side of the road. This was basically a 1-lane, maybe 2-lane car road. But with our big vehicles, if something would have happened, there's pretty much no way to turn around. You'd have to back up all the way out of there. A very intense situation. We had dismounts on the ground the whole time on that road, and they ended up finding, I think it was like 28 IEDs that were strung through the trees to try to impede us from getting out there. Our mission was to clear the road for other units to come out and clean up that crash site. It took us about 5-6 hours to get out there the first time. Like I said, the dismounts were finding at least 3 to 10 IEDs a day, and we were out there for 4 days back and forth because we had to refuel and eat and stuff like that. So it was a whole process. And every time somebody came in or every time somebody left, we would have to escort them in and out of that road. And that road was only, 10 miles long, maybe. Now, at the time, that mission was intense only because the information we were getting was so happened as it goes type of thing. It wasn't really planned. That whole situation out there was a complete devastating accident. And that Chinook was carrying some highly special people, and it was a great loss to our military when that happened. So I'm not going to get into details for the families out there that might be listening to this. I'm not going to get into many of the details of some of the stuff that I had to do out there that, we all had to do out there trying to clean that incident up. But it was a very intense situation out there. The main thing that I wanted to portray is the tactical advantage that the Taliban had on us. And that road out there was very, very sketchy, to say the least. When they're stringing wires through trees, the fact that we did not get hit out there at all in those 4 days. It's very impressive. And my thanks goes out to the combat engineers on the ground that were finding these wires and keeping us safe. That was very intense, knowing that they found so many, and every time they would go through, they would just keep clipping the wires because this was a fast-paced thing that had to get done quickly. We didn't have time to actually pull everything out and blow up everything, so they would just clip them and come back through. The next time we'd go through, they'd be strung up again, and they would have to clip them, plus they would find more stuff out there. By the grace of God, we did not get hit at all during that whole 4 days, so shout outs to them for that one.